Hey guys, Brian, Vinny, and Jeff back for another Disc Golf Examiner disc review. Vinny, we got a special one today. What do we got?
We have the Crank SS in Elite Z plastic from Discraft.
Nice. So this is a super straight flyer from Discraft. Special thank you to them for sending us these discs for today's review. What did you think of it for a really strong arm player?
It was pretty understable for me. I could only really get it to fly on a hyzer line or if I took a lot off it and threw it flat, even with the tailwind. But it definitely held a good roller line, as you will see.
And for an amateur player, Jeff, what did you think of this disc?
I really like this disc. For me, it held the lines that I put it on. Real nice Anheuser flex shot and really nice hyzer shot too. Really great disc for amateur players.
Really cool. Well, let's go ahead and check out how we got to those conclusions. We'll start it off by going to the profile. We'll not choose the scratched up one.
The Crank SS in Elite Z plastic is slightly domey, and the rim width felt about like what an average 12-speed driver would feel like. This particular plastic's a little bit softer than typical Elite Z, so it feels really good in this cold weather.
When I threw the crank on a hyzer release in my man tights, it held that line beautifully the whole way before finishing out predictably left.
When I threw the crank on a hyzer in a slight tailwind, it flipped a little more than I was expecting, but still got a full flight and hyzer back at the end for about 500 feet of distance.
When I threw my flat release, it held that line high and tight. Vinny opened the door for me, big skip left.
When I threw the Crank SS on a flat release, I had to take off some power because it's a little understable for my arm speed. And it turned into the ground pretty quick for about 400 feet of distance.
When I threw my Anheuser shot, it had a real nice, smooth S-flight, finishing out about 300, or as we say, 1/2 Vinny.
When I threw the Crank SS on a roller, I missed the goal just to the right, but even with landing with a lot of cut, it still rolled pretty straight for the whole way.
And that's how we threw the Discraft Crank SS in that Elite Z plastic. Thank you so much for joining us. A special thank you to Discraft for sending us the disc for today's review. So that's going to do it. Until next week, guys, keep banging those chains. Oh!